The next name they list as a Hindi name, Aditi, so I'm guessing that's
Yes,
not gonna
it's
be-
completely in like Hindi name. Yeah.
Okay.
A Hindu.
And then Akash, the same, probably?
The same, yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
And Anil.
Yes.
So the next one is the next Sherpa name, which I think is a Sherpa name. The wiki again uses Chinese characters. I think this is just because the show phonetically tries to spell out names using Chinese characters, since that's the only language written in the show. But yeah, the next name we're looking at is Appa. So if you could tell us a little bit about the name Appa.
So Appa चाहिँ त्यसको बारेमा अलिकति त्यो हाम्रोमा युज कसरी युज गर्छ Appa.
Appa?
हजुर.
Appa चाहिँ Appa भनेको ड्याडी होइन.
हजुर.
यो चाहिँ फेरि यस्तो छ कि हाम्रो शेर्पाको भाषाहरू धेरै खोजी गऱ्यो भनेदेखि धेरै पुरानो भाषा युज गरेको बेसी पाइन्छ.
हजुर.
अहिले नयाँ शब्दभन्दा पनि आपा त टिबेटनले बोल्छ भने शेर्पाले चाहिँ हापा भन्छ कि आफू सट्टामा हा युज गर्छ. अनि आपा हापा अब कुरा एउटै हो. अनि अहिले धेरै जसो शेर्पाले आफू सट्टामा हा युज गरेर आप्पाले हापा आमाले हामा त्यसो युज गर्न चलिन्छ. त्यो चाहिँ मेरो विचारमा धेरै पहिले पुरानोको भाषा युज गरेको मलाई त्यसो लाग्छ. त्यो मात्रै होइन, मैले अरू एक्जाम्पल पनि ल्याउन सक्छ.
So Appa is not the way it is spelled out. Appa, it's not a Sherpa word. It's more Tibetan.
Oh, it's more
because
Tibetan.
it's a very old Tibetan word.
Okay.
And Appa is basically means papa or like dad.
Okay.
Literal translation is dad, Appa.
Okay.
And then the Sherpa language, they kind of have it in similar tone, but they call it Hapa instead of Appa.
Okay.
They have ha instead of a.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's how it's differentiated. It has the same meaning of like dad, but that's how like the pronunciation is a little different in that. So Appa, the way they kind of have structured the word in the series, from what I know, it basically means dad.
Okay. Okay.
अब मैले एउटा सानो के भनेदेखि पहिले धेरै पुरानो पहिले भाषाहरूमा आरा हा चाहिँ फरक नपरेकन त्यसो बोल्ने चलन पनि रहेछ कि. अब जस्तै इक्जाम्पल मैले अब तपाईँ हामीले दुधलाई चाहिँ होमा भन्छ. होमा कुनै टिबेटनले चाहिँ ओमा भन्ने रहेछ कि ओमा अहिले पनि बोलिरहेछ. त्यो हिसाबले मैले शेर्पाले आमालाई हामा भने पनि गलत त होइन रहेछ. मेबी त्यसो बोलाइने चलन पहिलेदेखि रहेको रहेछ भने मैले एउटा अनुभव गरेको.
So there is a lot of like differences which are like locally adapted like across like Sherpa word and like Tibetan word. For example, like the same thing with Appa or Hapa, and then the same thing with milk. It's called Homa. It's called Oma and Homa. So there is a little bit of difference.
Homa is the Sherpa word?
Homa is Tibetan.
Oh, Tibetan?
Yeah.
And then
Sherpa is a Homa. Yeah.
Sherpa is
Homa.
Homa with the H.
शेर्पाले होमा.
Homa.
Okay.
Homa.
तर यो जुनले होमा भन्छ नि हाम्रो जुन पनि भाषामा एउटा स्पोकन र ग्रामर दुईटा हुन्छ होइन. अहिले होमा भनेको ग्रामर पनि हो स्पोकन पनि हो, दुवै चाहिन्छ. अब कुनै कुनैमा ग्रामरको हिसाबले युज गर्ने स्पोकन हिसाबले युज गर्ने त्यसो फरक पनि हुन्छ. अहिले जस्तै अब हाम्रो बोडीको कुरा गर्दाखेरि लप्पा काउपा गो मिक भन्ने यिनीहरू चाहिँ ग्रामर पनि त्यही हो, स्पोकन पनि त्यही हो.
So the way the grammar is written and the spoken is written, like how it is spoken, it's the same. At least so एउटा कुरा चाहिँ हाम्रो शेर्पाको चाहिँ लेख्ने चाहिँ तिब्बतन लेख्ने नै हो नि.
अहिले टिबेटनलाई अक्षर छैन. अब बोल्ने भाषा छ तर लेख्ने अक्षर चाहिँ छैन. अब कुनै लेख्नु पर्यो भने टिबेटन ल्याङ्ग्वेजमा युज गर्नुपर्छ.
Tibetan language. So the way Sherpa language is only spoken, we don't have a written script.
Okay.
And so just want to clarify that.
Yeah, okay.
So the grammar, everything kind of follows the Tibetan script.
Okay.
So because we borrowed Tibetan script completely,
Okay.
we don't have this written language.
I see.
So it's only spoken, and that's how anything that is captured across the community is all in Tibetan script.
Okay, okay. So just to clarify, so Appa is the, without like the ha sound is the Tibetan word, and then with the ha
Ha.
sound is the Sherpa word?
Sherpa word, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So there's just some really like small like changes.
Okay, all right. I thought I've met, or not met, but I thought I've seen like Sherpa people named Appa.
Mm-hmm.
So is it ever without the ha sound or?
So हाम्रोमा चाहिँ अब आपा भनेर शेर्पा मान्छेहरू तिनवटा
शेर्पा
नाम
कम्ती बोल्छ साथै मेरो हिसाबले हाम्रो खुम्बु क्षेत्रतिर हो भने हापै धेरै बोल्छ
Mhm.
अनि अब कुनैले त पापै बोल्छ होला
हजुर।
पापा पाला बोल्छ होला
हजुर।
आपा चाहिँ सायद शेर्पाले बोल्नु कमी होला जस्तो लाग्छ
हजुर।
टिबेटनले बोल्छ
Tibetan.
आपा चाहिँ
Okay. तर हाम्रो शेर्पा नामहरूमा कतिजनाको नामहरू आपा नाम छ नि त नामै आपा शेर्पा भनेर त्यस्तो नामहरूलाई चाहिँ
त्यो चाहिँ कुन तरिकाले राख्यो म थाहा पाइनँ
so yeah, he's not like so apa. It's like it's a Tibetan word.
Okay.
So there might the Sherpa people who have that word as the name might have some influence from the Tibetan culture.
Okay.
So because there's a lot of cross marriages as well.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
like their ancestors are like Tibetan, like their
Okay.
grandfather might be Tibetan or their grandmother might be Tibetan. So that might be
Okay.
the influence.
Okay.
But yeah, it's usually not a name that is generally given within the Sherpa culture.
Okay. And is Hapa ever used as a name, or is it just a word?
Hapa, it's not
Not a name.
Hapa भनेर चाहिँ नाम चाहिँ छैन.
खास यस्तो छुरी कारण छ कि मलाई थाहा छैन
It's not very common. I think
Okay.
the few that I know of
Yeah.
call themselves Apa.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't call themselves Hapa.
Okay. So if so, you know some Sherpa people also
Yeah.
named Appa.
Yeah, I know 2 or 3 brothers. Yeah.
Okay, but it's not very common.
It's not very common, but yeah, I think there is like 2 or 3 people
Okay.
that have that name that I know of. But then they also share like Tibetan heritage. So
Okay.
that
so,
might be the influence.
So yeah,